To reduce food waste, Olio has announced a $43 million Series B funding round. The business was founded in 2015 and it's since expanded globally with 5 million users in more than 50 countries. It aims to have 1 billion users by 2030. Well, joining me now is the co-founder and chief executive of Olio. That's Tessa Clarke. Tessa, very good morning to you. For those unfamiliar with what you do, could you just briefly explain it, please?
Yep, so Olio is an app that exists to tackle the enormous problem of waste in our homes and local communities. And we do that by connecting people with their neighbours so you can give away rather than throw away your spare food and other household items.
And how do you make money?
So we also have a service that enables businesses to have zero food waste locations. So stores such as Tesco or Pret-a-Manger or Booker. And we charge them for a service whereby we have 30,000 volunteers who collect and redistribute their unsold food at the end of the day and ensure that food is eaten by people living in the local community rather than being thrown away. So rather than paying a waste contractor, they instead pay Olio to achieve zero food waste stores.
It's a hell of an undertaking, that 30,000 volunteers every day. I mean, that sounds quite a logistical effort.
It is, yes. And we've spent several years building our food safety management system, building all the technology that sort of matches dynamically on a daily basis the right volunteers with the right location. But it works incredibly well. So half of all the food added to the app is requested within 21 minutes.
And what are the most popular items that tend to get passed on?
It all goes incredibly quickly. We do, from the large sort of supermarkets, we tend to have a lot of bakery products and also lots of fresh fruit and vegetables.
And what are you going to do with the proceeds of this funding round?
So there's three key areas that we're investing in. The first is continuing to improve the Olio app itself. We're really excited to be within the next couple of months launching a new feature called Borrow, which will connect people to their neighbours to lend and borrow everyday household items. Second major area of investment is our B2B proposition. So we've got a very full pipeline of businesses that know that they need to get to zero food waste locations, and so unlocking that. And then the third area of investment is international expansion. And we've identified Latin America, a couple of markets in Asia, and also in Northern Europe as our top targets.
Right. I mean, what's the competitive landscape like in those territories? Is there anyone doing what you're doing already at the moment over there?
In a word, no. Our competitor is the rubbish bin, unfortunately. Over $1 trillion worth of perfectly good food is thrown away every single year. And we're really unique in that we've built this sort of neighbour-to-neighbour, peer-to-peer kind of real-time food redistribution network that works incredibly well. And our communities love it and the businesses love it too.
You mentioned just now some of the businesses with whom you're working, the likes of Tesco, Pret-a-Manger, Compass, the caterer, for example. I mean, is there anyone that isn't signed up that you particularly like to get on board?
Well, I think every single business right now is looking at how they can get to net zero, how they can fulfill on their ESG requirements, and also they've got to listen to their employees and also their customers who are saying that, you know, they're calling time on perfectly good food being thrown in the bin. So we are talking to most of the major supermarkets, quick commerce companies, contract catering companies, and anyone who's not speaking to us, please do reach out.
And what about the restaurant trade?
So the restaurant trade is slightly less of a target for us sort of right now. We are working with some quick service restaurants. So there's definitely opportunity around that for sure. But often these sort of smaller independent restaurants tend to have other ways of redistributing their sort of surplus food, whether it be through sort of the menu items and specials of the day, etc. So our real focus is on quick service restaurants and the large supermarkets and corporate caterers.
All right, Tessa, great to talk to you this morning. Thanks very much for joining me.
Thank you.
And that's it from me. There's a lot more on the business news pages of the Sky News website. We'll unpack this time tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Hope very much to see you then. In the meantime, stay tuned, because up next, it's Adam Bolton with All Out Politics. Thanks for watching today. Cheerio.